World War I took a toll on U.S. aircrafts, not only in combat but from non-battle related crashes. The Air Force discovered in some cases the plane were in good shape, but the aircrew were not. Flight surgeons determined not everyone could withstand the effects of flying.
So what they found was they needed physically fit individuals to deal with the high altitude physiology of flight, to include hypoxia at altitude and all that. So originally they were giving less fit individuals, the pilot slot, but then they realized, hey, we actually need physically fit people who can actually deal with these rigors.
This is why a flight doctor's job is so important. They're the ones who give the aircrew the thumbs up to fly. But when these airmen first apply to become a part of the aircrew, they have to go through a very detailed evaluation to see if they have what it takes to be a part of the team.
All right, take some deep breaths in and out for me.
Even then, every year the aircrew has to pay the flight doc a visit for a routine examination called a PHA.
Distant vision, near vision, depth perception, color vision is another one, blood pressure, lipids that we check on a regular basis, hearing, and we make sure they're still physically fit to do said job. There's no.
But one of the critical things the doctor checks for is if the flight member can clear their ears.
If they can't clear their ears, they can't fly. Hence why if they even have a cold, a minor cold, that they have nasal congestion, can't clear their ears, we ground them until that's cleared up because we don't want them to blow an eardrum or sinus at flight altitude.
If for any reason a member does not pass the PHA, they would have to get a waiver and get blessed by those higher up in the military. Although a lot of airmen can get medical waivers, there are some hard no's when it comes to being a qualified aircrew member. Medical conditions like ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, can disqualify a prospective pilot.
ADHD, especially with medications treatment, that's unsuitable in the Air Force or the military because you can't, to be able to do your job, you shouldn't be relying on a stimulant to be able to do your job.
Another hard no is if you're pregnant.
Once you become postpartum, after you have your kid and everything's stable, then you can apply.
Some time ago, if you wanted to be a pilot, you had to have great vision. But then surgeries like LASIK and PRK started to grow in popularity.
The Air Force had a waiver for PRK surgery, but not LASIK. Why? Because when you get LASIK, the doctor actually cuts a flap in your eye, and the Air Force was concerned this flap could move during high-speed maneuvers.
After some research, the Air Force realized the flap would heal and it does not pose a threat.
Medical Air Force was concerned that that flap would reopen at high G maneuvering. So if you're pulling 9 Gs, is that flap going to go, and now your vision's compromised and you'll probably have to bail out of the jet. So they finally got the data for it that says, no, that's not a risk. As long as it heals, it's not going to be an issue.
And once the aircrew have passed their medical tests, it's time to go fly. This is one of the perks of being a flight doc. They get to enjoy the ride every now and then. For Major Newell, he always loved aviation, but he didn't want to be a pilot. Instead, he wanted to care for the aircrew. So he got what he describes as the best of both worlds, being a flight doc.
Honestly, I can't see myself doing anything else besides this.
Roxette Pietri-Freeman, KTBS 3 News.